Hello there, everybody. This is a little video that Sharon and I put together earlier today. It's just a little bit of fun talking about the difference between Glasgow and Edinburgh, anyway, so it's a lot of good fun. Sharon and I talking, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Already sees it's pretty much a stabby capital.
Alright, hello everybody. Here we are today to talk a little bit about Scottish culture. Basically a bit of a rivalry here between two major cities there in Scotland. Those of you who've been keeping up here, we recently did a video that we sent over to YouTuber Wee Scottish Lass, who hails from Edinburgh. And obviously you can see my special guest today here is Sharon Sunshine, and she hails from Glasgow. And so these two ladies are very fiercely proud of their hometowns, and so we're gonna go through the differences of being Glaswegian and being from Edinburgh and that sort of stuff. And the main reason why we're getting into this series of videos is because after the last video I did, Wee Scottish Lass came on to the comment section and said it's on like Donkey Kong. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get it started. And talk a little bit about this culture. You were going to say something?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh?
Nearly did Edinburgh.
Bruh? You're correcting me now? Are you kidding me? Alright, fine. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I said bro. Hey, what are you going to do? Bro is still not burrow. But anyway. So anyways, to get back to it, the reason why we made the other video previously was the fact that, you know, Glasgow had, well, quite a feather in its cap, had been voted the 5th friendliest city in Europe in multiple polls. It was, you know, so obviously I had been listening to Wee Scottish Lass because Sharon had suggested her to me, and so I'd watched a few of her videos and seen her discuss and talk about this little rivalry between Edinburgh and Glasgow, and you know, so I immediately couldn't help but make a video, send it over to Wee Scottish Lass, and say, hey, look, you know, they're voted the 5th friendliest city in Europe, you know, so how, you know, how bad can it be? And so her you know, responses were pretty funny. She's like, yeah, of course they're friendly, because if they're not friendly, then nobody's there. Then they gotta try to throw the knife at you. But if they're friendly, then you come right up to them and they can get real close. You know, and of course they can still be friendly and talk about the weather with you as they take you to the hospital. So that was her whole shtick that she came back with that was hilarious. So we're gonna talk today about a few things, a few little subjects that we have to go through here that we think will spark some interesting fake controversy here, and you know, and make some fun here. So first thing we're going to start out with is, in the spirit of Wee Scottish Lass talking about the happy-go-lucky Glaswegians, who are very friendly but, you know, got the knife at the ready all the time apparently. Sharon was telling me about the guy singing outside her house the other day. You want to tell us a story about the singing guy?
Yeah. Well, I was actually watching your video during the night. It's like 6 o'clock actually, before morning, and we were messaging back and forth. And the next thing, there was a guy walking down the road. I could hear him singing, and I thought, oh, he sounds like he's having a good time. So I was thinking, I wonder if he's got a knife.
Yeah, I was, when you were telling me the story, I was thinking the same thing and was like, oh, did you check if he had a knife? The guy sounds awfully happy and everything, like the way Wee Scottish Lass describes. So you know, it'd be interesting to find out if. So.
Karaoke.
But no glint of steel, you could tell, right?
No.
You looked out the window, but no glint of steel that you could tell? No? Okay, so that remains unconfirmed. Oh well. Hey,
yeah. I didn't open the car to see, I thought, might like come from Edinburgh or something like that and attack me.
Maybe. I guess which leads us into the next thing, where is a statement you made about never met somebody from Edinburgh.
Yep. I said I've never met anyone from Edinburgh that didn't make me want to get my butter knife out.
Well, that's concerning because that would seem to go along with We Scottish Lasses' claims about Glaswegians.
It's just the gesture of it, shoo away, you shifty person. Shoo, That's all.
So it's the shifty Edinburgh folk that make you kind of a little fearful. So you grab your butter knife.
Well, the quiet ones are the ones you need to watch out for. I think if someone's think, oh, he looks a bit dodgy. Whereas in Edinburgh, if everyone's kind of like, normal looking, you don't know whether they're a weirdo, so I'd rather have a guy with a that you can avoid.
Oh my lord. Okay. So, and plus, hey, look, isn't another tip off when they're coming at you? Somebody from Edinburgh, it's the tartan they're wearing, right? I understand that tartan is, very popular there.
Yeah.
We seem to be a dead giveaway.
Tourists galore in Edinburgh. Tourists galore. So it's like everything's tartan. I'm sure they'll get tartan toilet seats.
Ah, that's hilarious. You mean like the soft ones where it's like actually, anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
Tartan covers. Yeah, everything's tartan. tartan.
And is that where Henbury? Is that what? Not Henbury. What's that one I'm thinking of? The yellow and with the I don't know. It's like a tartan design. No, it's from England. Never mind. That's something Capaldi showed me. Sorry. We'll get to Capaldi later. Sorry.
Yep.
Anyways. So the next thing we're going to talk about, which might add a little bit of a substance to We Scottish Lasses' claims, is that the mighty William Wallace himself was arrested and captured in Glasgow.
Yeah.
So them Glaswegians, huh? Gangsta.
Yep. He wasn't actually born in Glasgow, but he was caught in Glasgow.
He was
which
captured,
is
right?
A bit shameful. We feel the shame.
So the big knife was overtaken by a bunch of little knives, right?
Yes. I mean, blended in. The class was so bad with the knife. I thought he blended in with the knives, but no, he obviously stood out. So to me, that's proof that Glasgow's not
Oh my lord. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go through a list of, well, we'll just say, Scottish personalities.
Yep.
Some are real, and some are not.
Yep.
But they're personalities nonetheless. So, first one is, and we're going to discuss of where we think they may hail from, or which town they may, feel more of a close connection to, right?
Which?
Yes. Sorry, I said town. Okay.
Again, I'm sorry.
Here we say town affectionately, even for a city. It's a thing here in America. But anyway, sorry, city.
Shops. We say we're going to town.
Oh, okay.
So when we do, we're going to town. So you're okay to town. Anybody else calls it town, we're like, it's a city.
You're right. Yeah, I get it. So first up on the list, we're going to talk about Fat Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got a turtle head poking out.
Yeah. Edinburgh. Definitely Edinburgh.
Because of the man bun?
Man bun, and some of his outfits are questionable.
Come here, wee man. I'm gonna eat you. Get in my belly.
And all that as well. One of the clips he had like a dark hat and yeah.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, so Fat Bastard, you believe would be more Edinburgh. All right. Next up, groundskeeper Willie.
Oh, he's
from The
definitely
Simpsons.
Glasgow. Definitely Glasgow.
He is pretty proud of Glasgow, I gotta say.
He's definitely Glasgow. He's my boy.
He's said how proud he is of Glasgow and The Simpsons numerous times. Now that I think of it, I mean, it's just like,
When you look at like Fat Bastard. Sorry, I don't like to swear. I know that's his name, but it's like I'm like, ooh, like the difference between him and like Groundskeeper Willie. Obviously, Groundskeeper Willie's like an animation type thing. But you can kind of feel the difference between the two. I think maybe it's I'm Scottish.
right. But he's got the tartan. But he's sporting the tartan pretty proudly, which would tend to be an indicator of Edinburgh.
But he is right, but he's not wearing a t-shirt, and he's more of a sort of drunk guy at a wedding.
Drunk guy at a Glasgow wedding.
So
Okay.
like, no t-shirt, belly out, or muscles out, whatever, and kilt on, and he's got the patter, So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So groundskeeper Willie attire and demeanor would be perfectly acceptable at a Glasgow wedding.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
He might eat the beef groom.
the next one I want to talk about is the guitarist from AC/DC. Forget if he's Angus or anyway, the guitarist. Those of you know who I'm talking about. He dresses up in the schoolboy outfit. The dude is extremely interesting to me. Watching him perform. Number one, wearing his schoolboy outfit, which is just kind of strange to look at and see. And but then you watch this guy playing the guitar like a madman, jumping around, doing all kinds of things on stage, and still holding that on the guitar exactly everything he's doing. I mean, watching the guy, it's just like watching Who Made Who. You watch that guy, he gets on that guitar and he falls to the ground and he starts, using his legs to spin himself around while he's playing. And then he goes to get up. And just as he's getting up, he's getting into this tricky part where he's got to get both of his hands onto the guitar or whatever. And he's trying to also use his elbow to prop himself back up so he can stand back up while he's playing this tricky part. And I'm just sitting there going, fucking dude's amazing, dude. Holy crap, man. That dude is just, wow. So, but they are Scottish. They were born in Glasgow. They did move to Australia, and I think maybe that explains the schoolboy outfit. But man, dude, that dude is a freaking amazing on the guitar, dude. Totally. So.
Maybe all these moves stem from the intense knife throwing training. So he's maybe being part of the because we all get indoctrinated in a course how to do it,
Right. So, that guy's just amazing to watch. So, all right, the next one is a name you brought up, and I'm actually not familiar with it, or at least I'm not, or at least I probably will when you start to talk about him. Brian Cox.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. I really love him. He's from Dundee. You probably do know him. I mean, he's really famous. He's really a famous actor.
Sounds familiar.
He was
musician.
the original. Sorry?
Is he a musician?
No, he's an actor.
Actor. Oh, okay.
He was the original Hannibal in the film Manhunter.
Oh, the original Manhunter. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
it's been a little while since I've seen that.
I mean, he's been in loads of things. He's really famous. If you look him up, you'll see him. And don't get me for the Brian Cox, the scientist. There's two Brian Cox.
Oh yes, there's Brian. Yeah, that's who I was thinking actually. Was that the scientist? So okay.
But Brian Cox, the actor, I really love him.
Oh, dude, it's been a long time since I watched Manhunter.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
It's been many years. I gotta watch that again.
I love it. That's what I think your hair's like when you need a haircut.
Oh, because when I need a haircut. I know what you're talking about because I remember how he had his hair.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's what you remind me of.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Okay.
So you don't remind me of my film.
Yeah, I love that. I actually liked the new version where they went back and remade, you know, what is it called, Red Dragon or whatever, where they went back and remade it with Edward Norton.
Yeah,
I like Edward Norton, but I liked that. I thought it was cool. What I thought was really cool was the depiction of him at the dinner when he figures it out, and he catches Hannibal. Thought that was kind of cool. There were certain things about that movie I thought were cool, just because I felt like it was kind of like stuff I didn't get from the original Manhunter, because I think it was made so long ago. There was certain things they couldn't do, or at least they couldn't do justice, you know, because of limited technology or limited funds or whatever it might have been at the time. Anyway, we're getting off point. So, well, we do love that movie. So, we're true crime buffs here, folks. Sorry. The most of the people watching this right now probably understand. So, anyways. Moving.
Well, should have said
the witty
that.
knitter, yep. This young lady's going to be knitting my Doctor Who scarf, and I'm going to be, you know, wearing when I talk with Julie Pom Pom's son Cody about Doctor Who. So that ought to be fun.
I don't know how you're going to be able to wear a scarf right enough in the weather you've got. You'll need another 3 air conditioners.
I'll make do.
Ice packs underneath it just to try and keep yourself cool.
Yeah, well, you know, fortunately, by the time I, you know, get this money sent over to you and you get the thing made, it's going to be like November, December, and it's going to be cold enough that I'll be like, yeah, all right, that works.
I don't know how long. It shouldn't take me too long, because it's not a complex.
Just repetitive. With an occasional color change.
I'll just be good because I'll be like, oh, I need to change colour, you know, and nothing.
Right on.
I like doing that. That was when I made your Dalek. I just did that without a pattern.
Right on. Yeah, it's cool. This is what we're talking about, folks.
And you pure love that. I know you
exterminate.
love it.
Exterminate. So.
For your Doctor Who channel, you know, so.
I love that thing. So, it was such a witty piece of knitting. And then I started to talk about Ark in Space when Tom Baker gets his scarf shot by a laser, and he's like, oh, I love this scarf. He's like, Lady Nostradamus made me this scarf. She was a witty little knitter.
I'm going to be that, actually. See, when I looked up online, it said it's Madame Nostradamus.
Did he say Madam?
On the clip, because I looked up to see if we could find the episode.
Yeah.
But it said Madame Nostradamus.
Could be, I guess. Madam and lady are essentially interchangeable terms, I think.
Yeah.
But,
not that. I just wondered if you knew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the internet. We'll trust the internet. Guys,
so that brings us to our last little topic here, because We Scottish Lass does have an ally. She doesn't maybe know it yet, but she has an ally in Paul Capaldi, because pretty much, for those who don't know, Paul Capaldi's my friend, and if it doesn't have to do with making a murderer, if I take one opinion, he takes the opposite. So, so she, by me talking to her and her saying it's on like Donkey Kong, she immediately gained an ally in Paul Capaldi. So he decided to ask his daughter about which she would prefer, or which she prefers, Glasgow or Edinburgh. Well, she answered with Glasgow, and of course Paul, because he's now committed to his new stance, you know, to oppose me, immediately says to her, oh, well, what about it's all stabby, stabby, fighty, fighty? And to which his daughter answered, that's what I like about it. So I guess maybe some people just feel like it's friendlier when there's a little bit of threat of violence in the air, I guess, you know? Maybe it just keeps everybody on their behavior. Maybe that's why it's so friendly there.
But in Edinburgh, they're not used to people being friendly. In Edinburgh, they just... Like, there was one example where my husband was taking photographs, and it was at this house where they're doing the new Downton Abbey series spin-off type thing. And Neil, my husband, moved a cone or something like that to let this person out. And the person was like, "You're not staff. Why would you move that? Why would you do that? Why would you be helpful?" So they're really questioning you being helpful. She's like that. Well, why would you take time out your day to move a cone so I could get my car passed? It's like, why are you even asking that? That's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
I had somebody offer to move a cone for me yesterday when I was parking over in Venice Beach, and he didn't move it right, and I had been yelled at by the parking guys there before for not moving it to the appropriate place when you park there. So I immediately jumped out of the van and was like, "Oh, hold on, they like it if you move it over here." And I could tell the guy was feeling hurt because he wanted to help me or whatever. I go, but I was just like, "Oh, I know. I thank you for trying, buddy." I go, "I just know if you move it like that, they get huffy." I go, "You got to put it like this." And so he was like, "Oh, okay, So, but it was funny. But your story reminded me of that. So, yeah. So that's what we've come up with. Hopefully, we've given Miss Wee Scottish Lass a little bit of fodder here, a little bit of something for her to kind of sink her teeth into and possibly respond to, offer her, commentary on, whatever it might be. So.
Also beware of taking cash out of a cash line machine too close to somebody who's sitting on the street begging, because you never know, they might be from Glasgow, they might jump up, they might stab you to death and take your money. I'm joking, Glasgow isn't that bad.
Alright, so there you go. That was Sharon and I goofing around a little bit, having a little bit of fun, talking about the rivalry between Glaswegians and folks from Edinburgh. And just had a good time with a few clips in there from Wee Scottish Lass herself. That last one, the one you just watched, that's actually from her video, Things Not to Do in Edinburgh. And so that she was talking about she was describing not to do that in Edinburgh. And notice how the person that was jumping up to get you when you do that was from Glasgow. Anyways, fun stuff, folks. This is all in good fun, by the way. None of this is actually very serious. But we're all having a really good time just kind of poking fun about it. So, hope everybody is enjoying it. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you.